When you see Brock Lesnar step into the ring, you see dominance, raw power, and a man feared by legends. But what if I told you the toughest fight of his life didn't happen inside a WWE ring, or even the UFC octagon? It happened in a hospital room where doctors whispered words like life, threatening, and career-ending. This wasn't about championships anymore, it was about survival. The beast incarnate faced with an illness that nearly killed him. This is the story of how Brock Lesnar fought a battle that no amount of strength could win alone. Before Brock Lesnar became the global attraction, before he became the conqueror in WWE and the UFC heavyweight champion, his life took a turn that nobody expected. It wasn't an opponent in the ring, it wasn't a broken bone, and it wasn't the aftermath of one of his brutal matches. It was something far more dangerous, something that almost robbed him of the career and the life he built with his own blood, sweat, and pain. In the late 2000s, Brock Lesnar was at the peak of his athletic career. He had shocked the world by leaving WWE in 2004, chasing football in the NFL, and eventually storming into UFC. Fans remember his UFC run as legendary. He defeated some of the toughest fighters on the planet, becoming the undisputed UFC heavyweight champion. But behind those victories was a secret no one outside his inner circle truly understood. It started with stomach pain so unbearable that Lesnar, known for never showing weakness, collapsed multiple times. Imagine the beast, who threw giants like Big Show and Mark Henry across the ring, suddenly crumbling to his knees, powerless. At first, fans thought it was exhaustion from his insane training schedule, but the reality was far darker. Brock Lesnar was suffering from diverticulitis, a dangerous intestinal disease that attacks the digestive system. Doctors diagnosed him with severe inflammation, and it wasn't just career-threatening, it was life-threatening. One wrong move, one delay in treatment, and Brock Lesnar's story could have ended right there. Surgeons had to remove a portion of his intestine. Think about that, a man known for his iron will and unmatched strength was being cut open, his career hanging by a thread. This wasn't just a medical procedure, it was the scariest chapter of his life. At one point, his weight dropped dramatically. The once unstoppable monster was now weak, vulnerable, and questioning his future. For a fighter like Lesnar, whose identity was built around dominance and intimidation, being told he might never compete again was crushing. But here's where Brock Lesnar proved why he isn't just a conqueror in the ring. He's a survivor. Instead of giving up, he pushed himself through recovery. Fans saw him step back into the UFC cage, defying every expectation, and reclaiming his status as one of the most dangerous fighters alive. It was almost unreal. The man who nearly died from an illness was once again standing tall, F5-ing opponents inside the octagon and reminding the world that he wasn't going to be remembered for weakness. And yet, the scars of diverticulitis never left him. Even when he returned to WWE, dominating stars like John Cena and Roman Reigns, he carried that hidden pain with him. Every appearance became special, not just because he was a legend, but because fans knew that behind the strength was a man who had already fought a battle far deadlier than anything scripted in wrestling. But here's the question: how much longer could Brock Lesnar keep pushing his body, knowing that this illness could come back at any moment? When Brock Lesnar returned to WWE in 2012, fans were ecstatic. The Beast was back, and the atmosphere felt electric. His music hit, the crowd roared, and suddenly it was as if the years away. His struggles with UFC, his fight with diverticulitis, were all behind him. But what fans didn't see was that every step into that ring came with a silent question: can my body still handle this? Unlike the unstoppable force fans remembered in 2002, Brock's body had changed. The surgeries, the scar tissue, the lingering weakness. It all meant he had to wrestle smarter, not harder. That's why, even today, his matches are shorter, explosive bursts of power rather than long, grueling fights. Some critics call it lazy booking, but the truth, it's survival. Brock knows his body can't take a 30-minute war night after night anymore. Think about it. Every time he lifts a 3 100-pound man like Braun Strowman or throws Roman Reigns around the ring, it's not just performance. It's him pushing past pain that most people couldn't even walk with. Behind the suplexes and the F5s, there's a man whose intestines were once torn apart, whose back and shoulders ache from years of abuse, whose doctors once told him, "It's over." And yet, Brock refuses to quit. That's what separates him from almost everyone else in professional wrestling. He doesn't wrestle because he has to. He wrestles because he chooses to. Each time he walks down that ramp, it's a statement. I survived what should have ended me, and I'm still here. One of the most powerful examples of this came at WrestleMania 30. Brock Lesnar stepped into the ring against The Undertaker, an icon, undefeated on the grandest stage. Nobody thought the streak would ever end. But Lesnar, scarred and rebuilt, conquered the Deadman. Fans were stunned, many were even angry, but beneath the shock was a deeper truth. It wasn't just The Undertaker's streak that ended. It was proof that Brock Lesnar was still capable of rewriting history, even after almost losing everything. But let's be clear, every victory comes with a price. Lesnar himself has admitted he lives in constant pain. His training is different now, focused on maintaining strength without pushing his body past the breaking point. Recovery isn't just a phase, it's a lifestyle. Ice baths, doctors, physical therapy, and endless monitoring keep him in the game. He's no longer the invincible rookie from 2002. He's a survivor maintaining the body of a warrior that has already been through too many wars. And that raises the real question, how much longer can this go on? WWE knows Lesnar is special. That's why his appearances are limited. Every time the Beast walks down the aisle, fans know it could be one of the last times. Every suplex, every F5 feels heavier because it might be his body's last defiance against time and pain. So tell me, when you watch Brock Lesnar today, do you see a monster still conquering opponents? Or a man battling against his own body, trying to give us one more unforgettable moment before the fight finally ends? Brock Lesnar's story isn't just about championships, victories, or even dominance. It's about survival. He has faced motorcycle crashes, broken bones, concussions, and the one opponent that nearly ended it all, diverticulitis. Yet, through every setback, Lesnar returned, proving to the world that strength isn't just about muscles or power moves. It's about refusing to let pain define you. Today, when fans see Brock step into the ring, they don't just see the Beast incarnate. They see a man who has already defeated something far more terrifying than any opponent. Every suplex, every F5, every roar reminds us that we are witnessing someone who is giving everything he has left, one match at a time. But here's the real question. How long can he keep going? Is Brock Lesnar's body nearing its final chapter? Or does he still have a few more legendary moments left in him? That's for time to decide. But one thing is certain, when Brock Lesnar's career does finally end, his legacy as both a conqueror and a survivor will never be forgotten. What do you think? Should Brock retire before his body completely breaks down, or should he keep fighting until he can't anymore? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this is one debate every WWE fan needs to be part of. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more WWE legends, shocking stories, and untold truths. And in the next story, we'll cover another wrestling giant whose career was nearly destroyed by injury, but who came back stronger than ever. Stay tuned.